Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday, finally, Saturday, June 21st. And today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, Misty, SMCY, Platey, and guess what? Everyone else, all the others, except the inverse and the weeklies, of course. And guess what? I'm a little behind today, so I'm going to do some housekeeping real quick in the beginning. So as you can see, when I go through the others like TSLY and Nvidia and all them, all the holdings shift. So I kind of gotta like reorganize the spreadsheet, which I'm sure most of you do not give a crap about, especially if you're listening on audio. But it was either make you guys wait or just go live and do this way. So I decided to go live and fix it this way as you talk amongst each other. But I'll be done in a second. Not really a second, but you get what I'm saying. Get what I'm saying? Good morning, everyone. Good morning and good morning and good morning. All right, so those are the synthetics. They got a 320. Again, this is not really the coverage. This is just me organizing the file on your dime, right? On your time this morning. So buy calls in the bottom, sell calls in blue. This is the kind of crap I got to deal with, right? But again, you got to make it pretty visually for you guys. All right, and then down here, this just adds up the synthetic 24, 25, 26. Plus 5. So you are late. No, that's all right. I'm actually late because I'm slacking on my spreadsheet. And I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I'm updating the spreadsheet. I'll be done hopefully soon. That's the synthetics. And then obviously I highlight the weeklies. These are the weeklies are in blue. It shows how much it costs to close out them suckers. All right, so that's it for TSLY. Let's go to Nvidia. They have two synthetics, 120, 130. Wonder if I'll get yelled at about doing this later. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, retire on dividends. Proudly announces to you, I'm not ready. All right, I'm getting there. Everyone know, everyone like the New Age Outlaws from wrestling? Come on, DX, hello. Are you ready? Bow. All right, I'm getting there, guys. If any questions, I'll just ask it and I'll answer it on the cusp. On the cusp. That plus that. Boom. There you go. Weeklies in there, 18. Boom. All right. Selling calls, buying calls, all that jazz. Cool stuff, right? All right. Up next is Coney. Coney, they didn't have to make any trades, and good, they didn't. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We have 83 of you so far. Thank you for being patient. All right, let me just click this. Sell call. There's a buy call sandwich for Coney. We'll see how that turns out for next week. But they're in deep duty. It looks like. All right, and then we got the SMCY. How you doing? I'm doing all right. All right, so doing that. Coney was an amazing ride until it wasn't. Yep. I mean, you got to remember, man, this could happen to all of them. Misty, it just so happens that the underlying is like a magical tool, right? Who owns most of Bitcoin. So it's a little different than these others because, these are just, the underlying is just a simple stock, a simple company, and it's going to go up and down and all around and cappity doodah amongst it, and it's going to pay out. So Coney, I think it's from inception, it's done pretty damn well. I know a lot of people are hating on Coney, but I think it's getting a bad rap at the moment. I'm just yip-yapping as I finish updating this. Right, 140 synthetic. I know I'm going to get you. Why don't you automate this? Like, how the hell do you automate this? Again, all I'm doing is just making it easy to present to you guys, which I'm supposed to do in advance. And unfortunately, the baby got up at like 3 last night, finally went back to bed. And yeah, but that's why I hit snooze many times. Can't wait till the baby just normally sleeps in every single day, like normal. But, we're far from that. That's why I always said I should have started this when I didn't have kids. Could you imagine? All right, so that's it. I'm done. I updated it. We're good. Get the view going. All right. Thank you for your patience. And let me see if I missed anything. Anyone's yelling at me. Shouldn't cappity doodah, crappity doodah, crappity doodah. A gamer's mouse. I don't know what that means. Fancy mouse, I guess. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Babies are never normal. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, guys. So what we have here is all the trades from yesterday, right? Let me expand this, make this as big as possible. So this is the download. This is the intraday trade download. And oh man, there was a lot of trades. But of course, we're going to start with Misty, right? We gotta start with Misty. Don't worry. If you get dizzy, just close your eyes. Close your eyes. All right, where we got? Ah, there we go. All right. So what did Misty do? Well, Misty did a bunch of stuff. But for the most part, buy to close, buy to close, buy to close, buy to close. All right. What are they closing? They're closing calls, and they're basically rolling them into next week. And the number one question I'm getting lately is, why don't they let them expire? And what they mean by that is, right, so this is a 390. What was the price of MSTR? Let me see if I go to the weeklies tab. 369. Okay. So what they're saying is, if this call, like this contract, well, all 6,005 contracts, if they let this expire, like if they let it go through the end of the day, this 12 cents would not have to be paid, right? So that would expire worthless, and we wouldn't have an expense on our hands. So again, the number one question is, why don't they let them expire? And the answer is because they want to open new positions. And in order for them to open new positions to have through the weekend and then obviously into next week, they would need to close out the old. So obviously, anytime they do a buy to close, typically following that, you will see an SS for short sale on the new position. So that is why they close them, because they're always in the action. They're not going to lose out on the time value through the weekend. All right. They want the juice. They want the premium for every single minute, every single hour, every single day. All right. It's possible that they may let some expire, but unlikely. Because we've seen they haven't traded. There's sometimes like a synthetic, a number of contracts that they're not selling calls on. So that is possible, but it's not too frequent. So that's why they do close out their trades. They pay to close their trades. All right. So anyway, these are all the trades. It's really not that bad if you think about it, considering. But they spread them out throughout the week. So I thank Scott or whoever is doing the trades this week. You made my life a little easier spreading them out, because when you have them all on the Thursday and the Friday, this week obviously would have been Wednesday, Friday. I just it's very very rough, to say the least. All right. So anyway, Misty has two synthetics, a 370 and a 380, but the 370 is split amongst two dates, 7/18 and 7/11. Really doesn't matter, to be honest. It is what it is. So right now they're essentially at the money. The 380 is kind of underwater, but we'll let time be on our side. All right. So what did they close yesterday? Well, we'll get into that in a second. Let's see the price change. Yesterday was what, the 20th? All right, let's see. MSTR, pretty slow day. It went up 0.18%. MSTY beat it. It went up 0.44%. So that's pretty good stuff. Let me drink some coffee as we go. We got 132 of you. Thank you all for joining this morning. I think I saw someone say he woke up for this. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Probably lying, but maybe not. I don't know. So also the IV. Let me show you the IV change day to day. Went from 51 to 49, and it's still at 49. So yeah, IV still in the shitter, unfortunately. All right, so let's take a look at the trades again. I'll do this as fast as I can, but for the most part, here's the summary. They won. They won their trades because MSTR, it didn't really do much this week. You know, the calls were tight, the IV's weak sauce, but luckily MSTR did not, they decided to chill. Okay, we'll accept the chill. All right, so how much did they make from this little batch of trades? If we highlight this, anything in white, obviously I did not discuss. So there's $7.1 million in profit right there. That alone. All right. And then you go here, two more trades, 3.8 million profit. All right. So if you're wondering, like on these flat days, why is Misty beating MSTR? Because they're making income. As MSTR is just chilling, MSTY is making bank, brah. Again, they could make more if the IV was higher, but it is what it is, man. What can you do? We got to work with what we got. All right. So what else here? We got profit. We got 2.7 mil profit there. So again, overall, they won every freaking trade. They won every trade. Good week. Really, really good week. All right. So anyway, let's what do we got for next week? We got a lot of trades, but we'll talk about it on the holdings tab. But you can kind of see the breakdown is, it's very busy. There's actually, let me show you. There was a very confusing trade that I saw. I don't even know if I logged it right, but it's right at the top. You know what? Let me show you on here. Check this out. Ready? Short sale, call, 420, buy, call, 400. Right? What do they call this? Bull credit spread or something like that. Again, option nerds, help me out here. But yeah, man. So they're buying a call for a lower strike. Again, 2,500 contracts, same expiration date. They're buying a call 400 and they're selling a call 420. Interesting play. So, I mean, I like it. I do, but I just feel like I made a mistake. But it is what it is, man. It's rates. It's just something I wanted to note, and I should probably highlight it, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. But I just wanted to mention that. All right. Anyway, let's get this show moving. Outstanding shares had an increase of 50K. Okay, great. Here's the summary. Misty price 2064. MSTR is at 369.70. 30-day IV sits at 49.75%. Outstanding shares 227,150,000. Total net income, we're now over 100 million. Again, this is just on the weeklies. So yeah, you guys can all do it. All right, do it wherever you are. Yeah. All right, 107 mil. Freaking awesome, man. Awesome. Awesome. Coffee time. Take a sip, everyone. Oh yeah, we earned that sip. All right, what else we got? Distribution 47 cents. Daily income 3 cents a day. Daily yield 0.13%. And if you annualize that sucker, 46%. It's aight, right? It's aight because the IV's 49. We're yielding 46. Okay, okay. Okay, Cletus. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go down here. Let's check out the other funds. Let's check out where we stand. Bitcoin showing 103. That's some weak sauce there. All right, we got to go down, 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 down. All right, so yesterday, which is going to reflect to the day before, because that's how Google Sheets works on holidays or weekends. MSTR again went up 0.18%. Misty went up 0.44. Look at this winter, man. It went up 0.74. Nice. IMST went up 0.32. That's also pretty nice. MST only went up 0.06. That's actually surprising. And then MS2 went up 0.37%. So Misty is the winner. So Misty whooping ass. What's up now? Technically, winter's the winner, but we don't compare winter. We compare Misty to IMST to MST to MS2. Okay. Did they buy new Bitcoin? I didn't check. I'm assuming not. They just freaking bought Bitcoin. I mean, do I got to check this stuff every day? Anyway, reaction. They were busy, man. Look at the trades. Again, this is why we pay them the expense ratio of 0.99% because they're doing the numbers. You know, we're sitting here busting our ass at work because we don't have time, right? Because the system's against us. The market's only open when we're freaking struggling at work. So we need someone to do the trades for us. And this is them. This is them doing it. All right. Anyway, Group D declares in 11 days on July 2nd. Are you excited? Are you? Are you? Well, don't be, because it's not going to be too exciting. It's just going to be a blah payment. You know, it's all right. We're due for a blah payment. All right. So if we look at the payment information, let's see. A synthetic income, no, there's just losses. So we're just going to focus on the weeklies. We have 107 mil. 107 mil. That comes to 47 cents per share, which is nice. You know, that's good money. So Rodmater says all things being equal, that could be a 76-cent payment, which is a 48% yield. However, the IV is at 50%, so it would show a 79-cent payment. So, you know, we gotta start getting, you know, under the realization that we're, you know, it's probably going to be under $1. You know, we have to accept that. And people are going to freak out because why? Well, let's look. Because we got 4, we got 3, we got 2, and then we got down to 1, and then we went to 2 again, and then we went down to 1. So if we go under 1, I don't know if they'll let it go under 1. You never know. They might pay just like $1.01 or something. But if they pay under 1, people are going to be pissed. They're going to be like, Misty sucks. Misty sucks. But in reality, Misty is still ruling the world here. Anyway, so here's the Misty holdings. I got this done at least. Let's check out the shares, the calls for next week. And then say, how you doing? See, the 400 is right there. See, buy call sandwich. I have a 400 and then 420. I like the 420, 13% out of the money. Again, I like this move. I do. I think someone said bull credit spread or bull spread or whatever the hell, right? All right, bull spread me up, baby. All right, I hear movement. The child is awake already. Jesus. All right, how can we see the intraday trades? Through the website. Go to the website, click a holding, and then click intraday trades. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so how are we looking for next week? The lowest strike for MSTY on MSTR is 380. It's 2.79% out of the money, which is tight. But what can you do, man? The IV sucks. The implied volatility sucks. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. But the highest strike is 395. That's 6.84% of the money. But actually, the highest of the strikes we talked about is 420. So they are pretty scattered, which is good. But again, it's I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this all plays out. Again, the synthetics, are they gold diggers? No, not necessarily. They got time. They got time, and it's on their side. What's the value, though? What is the value of Misty? $4.6 billion. The NAV is 2064, and the trade price is the same. Okay, 2064. Synthetic on the paper is worth negative, so we'll skim through that, and we'll go down here. I did not update this, so let me update this. Synthetic contracts. What do we got? I got one up there too. 3, and then 23, and then 24. All right, so synthetic contracts, 126,215. Double check down here. Yep. Okay. Where am I at? All right. How many contracts are they selling calls on? That's another question, right? Interesting question here. So what do we got? We got 20 goes to 20 right there, and then adds 22 right there. Right? Perfect. All right. So they're selling calls on about 89% of the position. So 10% is not capity doo-dah. And they got a buy call about, credit call spread or bull credit, whatever the frick, 11% of that is, they got a buy call percent on. So we'll see how all this plays out. But are we set up nicely for next week? I mean, who the hell knows? Nothing's moving, man. It's just like, it's just chilling. So we'll see. We'll see. IMST, how you doing? I got to be honest, man. This one's confusing the hell out of me. Oh, this is a synthetic. All right, so I screwed that up too. Let's just say it's been a rough morning. All right. All right, what the hell? This is a synthetic. All right, copy that. That's a synthetic. Copy that. That's a synthetic. All right. So they have what? 2244. Is that also freaking synthetic? No. All right. So these orange, this is the synthetic position, and then they're selling calls into next. Wait, look at this. They're selling calls. They got a 380 for next week, 627 expiration, 2.79% out of the money. And then they're selling calls that expire basically next month. They're going 1 month out, a 390 and a 395, 5 and 6% out of the money. I don't think that's far enough out of the money, to be honest, though. 1 month? Bruh. All right, so what are they adding? Let's make sure they're adding the right synthetics here. 6 and 5. Yep, okay, that's fine. And covered calls. How many covered calls are they doing here? Yep, 2 to 4. Yep, okay, that's right. And so percentage-wise, they're only selling calls on 43%. So I guess, yeah, it's actually okay that they went that close because, they have more than 50%. That would not be capity doo-dah. All right, so IMST, set up pretty nice. I guess we could say that. MST, again, this is a complex fund that we don't pretend to know what the hell's going on, but basically they're selling calls, and we're looking at that. They're 2 and 4% out of the money. Their calls expire next week. And yeah. So again, they pay every single week. When's their next declaration? 6/24, which will be next week. So stay tuned for that. MS2 actually has a position through the weekend, which is unusual. I don't know if you remember last weekend, they did not hold any MSTR. Now they do, and they're selling a call on 50% of the position, as they should, based on the prospectus, based on the fact sheet, based on the website. And they have a 390.53 strike price that is 5.63% out of the money. However, if you look here, not updated. Interesting. Okay, never mind. These expire 6/20, so maybe they don't actually have a position. I'm gonna hit refresh. It's gonna screw me up, but let's see. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Their holdings is not updated because they're still showing 6/20. So sorry, is what it is. I don't have any new questions, but if anyone has a video question, type it in the chat. Well, you can type in a live chat. I'll bring it up as we go, but try to make it relevant to what we're speaking of at the moment. There will definitely be a bathroom break today. That is for sure. All right. So anyway, what are we doing? Let's go to the rest of the trades. So we're just going to go down the line. We're going to go in order because, again, it's Saturday. It's a video. We just cover everything. We cover everything. We go down the line, and hopefully that's okay. We're 25 minutes in. It's probably going to be a long video, so bear with me, guys. Have your coffee ready. Okay, I'm checking the comments. Only the latest comments. Wolf says $1 will be okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but what do you want, man? They're doing what they can. Let's just say that. All right. Let's take a look at TSLY. TSLY by the close, 9 cents. Look at the strike, 337. Tesla's at 322. So winner, 7 cents, 9 cents, 21 cents, 27 cents, 16 cents. I mean, again, you don't need me for this. If you download the intraday trades, you see the buy to close, and they're pretty much like under 20 cents. That is a really good win. Really good win. Because if you look at the strike price and the strike price is above the current price, then yeah, typically it's going to be very cheap to close that position. So how are they doing? They're doing all right. TSLY, well, yeah, at least as of yesterday. Let's take a look at the trades, though. We already kind of saw a sneak peek at the file because we had to prep it early on in the video. But anyway, let's see. Okay. Is that there's no freaking way. I mean, let me just double check Nvidia. Good God, they're not updating. Are you freaking kidding me? What is not updating? 620? Man. What did Tesla close at? Well, no, that doesn't show. It should show the close. Where's the close? Somewhere in here. Open. Yeah, close. 322.16. If I go back here, then what the hell was the open? Or yesterday's? So the 19th is not updating? You know, this stupid spreadsheet. You're pissing me off here. You know what? I don't really give a crap. We're just going to skip over the price fluctuations. Let's see where we stand heading into the new week. Google wants to do this, then screw you. All right, so what do they got for next week? They're selling calls, obviously. Their lowest strike price for TSLY, again, we're covering TSLY, 335, 3.99% out of the money. The highest strike is 347.50, 7.87% out of the money. So again, not much wiggle room, but good enough. They do have credit call spreads, buy call, insurance plays, butt buddies, whatever we're calling them. They do have them as backup for next week, in case Tesla decides to go to the moon. Right now, we have synthetics that, they're kind of doing us dirty. They're basically borderline gold diggers. You take my money. Yep, pretty much. They're taking our money. Look at this, 82 mil for the 340. Good Lord, 335. When I'm in need. So these two, a little rough, but we got time. We still got a month, so no need to sing the whole verse. But it's coming. It's coming, brah. It's coming. All right, what's the value of TSLY? 1.1 bill. The NAV, 832. Trade price, same. Synthetic, yeah, we talked about that. That's in the negative. The 30-day IV of Tesla is pretty good, 62%, better than MSTR. IV estimate based on that, 40 cents. Income estimate, 8 cents. Group A declares again in 18 days. So stay tuned for that. Oh, duh, I got to go back here. All right, who's next? Keep going. OARC, again, we never figure out the price thing of OARC, but again, who cares? Buy to close $1.63. That does not look like they won that trade, and $1.34. Looks like OARC had a rough day there. Nvidia's next. Buy to close 7 cents. Buy to close 6 cents. Okay, 8 cents. Obviously, they're winning their trades. Good week for Nvidia. What else we got? Buy to close 24 cents. Okay, good. 6 cents. Oh my, look at all these freaking trades. 6 cents. 3 cents. Does this ever end? Oh my goodness. All right, so yeah, that is a lot of trades. So let's go to the file and see how they doing. How you doing? All right, so Nvidia, what kind of strikes you got? Well, they're tie. 146 is the lowest, 1.49% out of the money. The highest strike is 4.28% out of the money. So yeah, again, if the market's not that volatile, options gets a little harder, right? We can't go too far out of the money, and again, they're strict. They're kind of confined to weekly, right? Is this a point where we'd want them to go out 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I don't know, man. It'd be cool if they could. Maybe like on, say, a fraction go out a week, a fraction go out 2 weeks. I don't know, man. But the problem is, what if the IV juices up next week? Then we have to wait. You know, it's more expensive to close those other ones. So I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, but I think they're doing, like I said, they're dealing with this the best that they can. Synthetic on 120 and a 130. Nvidia's at 143. So that is pretty much bank bra. So that's good. You know, Nvidia, bank bra. Synthetic is worth, not the synthetic, oh my God. The value of the fund is worth 1.6 billion. The NAV is 1583. Trade price, penny more, but who cares? Synthetic, here it is, 212. It's worth 212 on paper. So if they cash it out, that's how much they would make. Good stuff. 30-day IV of Nvidia is 34%, which again, that's absolutely horrible. Who the hell wants to trade options on a 34% IV? Not me. Maybe they should just start adding NVDL, get some double leverage up in her, right? Because this 34%, this is some weak sauce. IV estimate based on that, 42 cents. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Income estimate. Yeah, that's not updating. Let me go to group's value. So group B, they just declared. Yeah, I got to update this. So their income estimate is actually negative. Oh, I'm already showing you Platey in advance. Look at you. You're getting a sneak peek. Don't get too excited. All right. Pull up the outstanding shares. Thank God for Platey, man. Everyone else is a dud lately. Dud. You're all duds. All right. Let's go to Nvidia. Up in her. Where we go? We got to scroll back down. All right. So income estimate. Wow. Didn't do crap for us. So income estimate is nothing. Group B declares in 25 days, though, because they just freaking declared. They declare mid-July. Love mid-July. Bring on the heat, baby. Bring on summer. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Let's go to the trades, and we'll scroll down. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Come on, Cletus. All right, AMZ, how you doing? Buy to close 3 cents. All right, AMZ's winning their trades. They're freaking dominating here. Buy to close 3 cents. Okay. All right, that's a decent amount of trades. Again, this is a very manageable fund for anyone covering AMZ. And then they're what? Selling calls. What do they got? A 215. That's 2.5% out of the money, and then another 215. So again, not much wiggle room, but Amazon don't really freaking move, right? It's a beast of a beast. Who's going to make Amazon move, right? Anyway, up next is your boy Gooey. Gooey. All right, buy to close 18 cents, 1 penny. Now that's what I'm talking about, 1 penny. 1 penny. Here's 11 cents, and there you go. All right, let's take a look at their calls for next week. For you Gooey holders, they got a 172, 3% out of the money. A 175, 5% out of the money. A 170 to 53% out of the money, Same thing, 172.50, and that's it. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see how they fare next week. Up next, your boy Phoebe. Let's see if we can get this all on one page. Oh, man. Maybe I should zoom out. Is this too big? That's what she said, right? No. Let's see. Let me zoom out a little so I can get more trades up in her. Up in her. Up. Is that still visible, people? Can you let me know real quick in the chat? Can you see? Can you see? I know some are on the phone, some are on the TV, some are on the computer, some are on the watch. No, I'm just kidding. You can't do this on a watch nowadays, can you? All right, we got 178 of you. Someone let me know, is this visual good? Thank you, Jeff. You roll. All right, buy to close 22 cents, buy to close 20 cents, buy to close 12 cents. All right, Phoebe's winning their trades. What are they selling for next week? 3, and barely 3% out of the money. So, okay, whatever. Again, what's their IV? I don't know. I probably could pull up IV on here, but I need my programmer friend for that. And he's mad at me because I never used his latest sheet because I didn't have a chance to do so. But buy to close. Oh my freaking God. What in the actual hell is this? $20.25. How do you even manage that? Look at the strike. 1,202. The gap is $9, so they closed it probably earlier when they were up higher because, good God, they got whooped. I was going to say something else. I'm trying to be polite in this early AM video, but they got smashed. They got. All right, well, how about this one? Buy to close $1.24. I guess you could call that a win. I don't even know, man. All right, let's check out the new trades. Okay, 785. That's a decent credit. 2% out of the money. Here we go. Another one. What? 1% out of the money? Come on, man. That they did get 910 per share. All right. Type 175 says Grandpa. For you, Grandpa trades, anything for you. Let's see if that works. Is that beauty? I guess that's better. I think Grandpa knows best. But yeah, we are sipping coffee, getting through trades. All right. Just another Saturday, just chilling. All right. So anyway, let's get to your boy. You know who this is, right? What did you do to your account? What are they doing here? Buy to close put. Purple alert. Let's see. 250. All right. So they're closing the 250. Look at the stock price, 308. Look how much they made on the call. 97 million. Oh my God. All right. So they've rolled their synthetic. Same expiration though. They just rolled it up from 250 to 300. Okay, that's going to be interesting when we look at the synthetic bank, brah. When we look at the actual income made, brah. All right. So that's pretty cool. And then they're closing puts. They're closing more here. Wow. So they moved their synthetic, man. I did not. I don't know. Let's take a tally here. What do you think they made? $208 million. Well, I'd safe to say that is the definition of bank brah. So Coney heads, let's all get together and that's also the celebration noise. I know it's the mad noise, but it's also that's us being happy because we just made bank, bro. Congratulations. I'm making bank, bro. All right, let's go to the Coney tab. How you doing? Well, we'll find out in a second here. Over here now. We're not going to the price change through the day because Google ain't working for that. So whatever. All right, we don't care. We're moving on. We got better things to talk about, such as getting Capity freaking doodah. Okay, we got Capity doodah. Let's look. Okay. So no, everything's updated, but we are truly Capity doodah already. They opened their trades like on the Wednesday for next week. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't have to do anything. But they do have a buy call sandwich, so that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, the lowest two strike prices are 300 and 305. 2 and 1% in the money, in the freaking money. So yikes. And then the other ones, well, this one's 0.53% out of the money. And then they got a buy call in between that. 10,000 long call. We go above 325. We're making bank on this. And then they got two more that go 6 and 7% of the money. So it's kind of a good setup. Best case scenario, again, typically I would say flat and down, flat or down. I mean, ideally under 300, so we can, you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. It's been a rough one for Coney. We know they were wearing their caps this week. You can't really get a cap on a cone head, but they did. They wore them because they were freaking cappity-doo-dah, cappity-day. All right, so what's the value of this sucker? 1.3 bill. That's the value of the freaking Coney fund. The NAV is 893 and the trade price 898. Synthetic on the paper. Again, this is the new one. It's already worth money. It's worth 26 cents per share. All right, so now we got to take a look, make sure all this is updated. 30-day IV of coin is 62%. IV estimate based on that, 43 cents. Is that good? No. Income estimate, let's see, is it updated? We go to group C. We got to check out the formulas over here now. Okay, so yep. All right, so it is. They made 173 million, which comes to how much? $1.17 per share. Is that bank, bro? Yes, that's freaking bank, bro. That's amazing. If they paid that, that would be 169% yield. And guess what? They pay next week. So I have to determine my guesstimate. So I go like this. Hum. You know, I may be doing the guesstimates live on tomorrow's video because the way today's going to go, who knows when the hell I'll get home. But I don't know. I don't know, man. What are they going to pay? $1? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe 80 cents, maybe 70 cents, right? Look at the IV estimate, 43 cents. What do you cone heads think, right? You're the cone head. You tell me. All right. So anyway, that's the update on Coney. Moving along. All right. MSFL by the close. How you doing? 9 cents. That's a win. 13 cents. That's a win. 13 cents. That's a win. And nope. What is this? What in tarnation? 305. It's actually above the closing price. They closed it too early. All right. So, yeah, they took a hit on this one. That's all right. They won the other trades. What else we got here? All right. That's it. All right. What are they selling calls for next week, though? If you're an MSFO owner, what do you think? What do you got here? They got 1% out, 1.5% out of the money. Again, 1.5, 1% out of the money, and 1.5% out of the money. So, yeah. Microsoft, do not move next week. All right. Zomo, buy to close 11 cents. Okay. And then the selling call for next week, 1.13% out of the money. Wow. Man, these calls are tight. But again, with a 1 week expiration and low IV, what can they really do, man? They tried to yield us the IV of whatever, you know, the fund is. So they try. All right. JPMO buy to close. Oh my goodness. 351. Oh my goodness. They got destroyed, right? 351. Anyway, whatever. Because you see, look at the strike, 272.50, and they closed at 275. So yeah, it was a rough one. Rough outing for a big bank. Nobody feels bad for big bank though. Anyway, selling calls 161. 1.82% out of the money. All right. AMDY is up next. Buy to close put, buy to close call. Forced closure here. It looks like people selling out of the fund. They paid $1.64. Yep, that's a loss. That's a loser. XYZY. Buy to close 4 cents, buy to close 3 cents. They won their trades. Congrats. Calls for next week, 2% out of the money and 3.79% out of the money. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh, here we are. Murney's current price, by the way, $2.25. When will they reverse split? They won't unless they are forced to. So there's the answer there. Buy call, sell put, sell call. All right. What are they doing? They're just adding money to the synthetic, right? Because people still like Murney, and they're selling calls. They're selling calls 4.25% out of the money. All right. So yeah, not bad at all. Here we go. AIYY Buy to close, penny. That's right, freaking penny. Is that low enough for you guys? Is it? We won that trade. And then they're selling calls for next week, 3.81% out of the money, which again, that's not bad, right? But AI stock though, it could move. It could move. There's Misty. Hi, Misty. Hi. All right, here's YBit. How you doing? About to close 2 cents. About to close 2 cents. Win. We won. All right. Is that good enough? Selling calls for next week, 3.97 and 5.68% out of the money. All right. Here's crash, but we don't cover crash. We don't talk about inverse funds here. It's just like how we don't talk about Fight Club. All right. GDXY by the close, 3 cents. Okay. That's a win. GDXY here. Selling calls, 4.23% out of the money. Again, I always say GDXY, that they're a good fund, man. I don't own them, but they're a beaut. They're a beaut. It's just gold, right? It's kind of like the gold digger, you know. Maybe you should buy GDXY to pay the gold digger. All right, up next is SMCY. Oh boy, what do they got here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, a lot of trades for SMCY. SMCY. All right, buy to close put. Okay, looks like the forced closures there. 9 cents, buy to close 6 cents, 10 cents, and 11 cents. So yeah, they won their trades. Good job, SMCY. Let's see what they're selling calls on though for next week. 2.6% out of the money. Same thing there, 2.6. That's it. All right, easy enough, no problem. There's another freaking inverse. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. Dips, dippity doo dah. YQQQ. Nobody likes you either. TSMY. Hello, TSMY. How are you? All right, buy to close. What do we got? 5 cents. They won their trades. 4 cents. They won that trade. All right, selling calls for next week. TSMY 2.62 and 3.181% out of the money. So if you own TSMY, that's your wiggle room. All right. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? SMCY. All right. I have to take a bathroom break. Is that okay? I'm going to play some music for you guys while I go. Let's see what we got. Background music. Dance pop. Here we go, baby. Be right back. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right. So where are we? Where were we, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I unmuted. So let's just keep going. Let's keep going. SMCY. Buy to close 7 cents. Well, that was fine, but this one is not. 141. They got whooped. Look at their calls, though, for next week. 8% out of the money. That's freaking awesome. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. JD, you were dancing? Sweet. I would dance with you, but I need to get some alcohol in me first because I can't dance. All right. Let's see the file. All right. You ready for the calls for next week? Let's see. Let's scroll to the right. Well, yeah, kind of scattered. Let me get a sip of coffee so I can pee more. All right. So the calls are out of the money. 2, 3, 5, and 8% out of the money. Good enough, I guess. Their IV is probably a little better than some of the others. Synthetics, they got a 45 synthetic. It expires, in about 2 months. So that's just chilling. No reason to worry about that. The value of this fund is 202 mil. The NAV is 1994. Trade price 1996. Your favorite year. Synthetic on the paper is worth about 31 cents per share. 30-day IV, again, pretty sweet, 67%. IV estimate based on that, $1.04. Income estimates in negative, unfortunately. But Group D, they declare not this week coming up, but the week after that, 11 days away on July 2nd. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's go. Let's keep going down the line. Down, down, down we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Platey. Seriously, Platey, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Oh, my goodness. Platey is mean. Platey had a lot of trades. Are you in the Platey posse? Because holy crap, your fund manager, he was working overtime yesterday. Do you feel bad? I mean, hopefully he gets paid well, right? Look at this. Buy to close 14 cents. Buy to close 12 cents. Buy to close 8 cents. Buy to close 6 cents. Buy to close 6 cents. Buy to close 15 cents. 16 cents. 7 cents. Yeah. They won their weekly trades. So congratulations on making bank, bro. They whoop ass on the synthetic and they whoop ass on the weeklies. So this fund is just playing around, whooping ass. All right. So how are their calls for next week? 3.42% out of the money, 4.15% out of the money, 3.42 again, 4.15, 2.69, 4. I know I should be doing this on the spreadsheet, but I'm just having too much. Oh, no, that's a buy call, right? Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing it here, but I'm just amused by Platey just doing so well. So yeah, let's go to the Platey tab. This is the better way to look at it. See, that's why I don't cover it that way. But if you look, all of these trades, yes, if you go to QSIP, right, the QSIP column, you can see the date. 6/27 is next Friday. Full trading week, full work week. Yeah, this sucks, I know. But their strikes are 2, 3, 4, and 5% out of the money. Not much wiggle room here. But what's Palantir going to do? I mean, is it going to go up? Is it going to down? Is it going to chill? We don't know. We don't freaking know. We do know we're making bank, bro. All right. How much bank? Well, let's look. All right. Their synthetic is 140. So their synthetic on the paper, not bank, bro. Not bank, bro. In fact, it's worth negative. So we don't talk about negatives, right? Because when does their synthetic expire? Actually, July 18th. So they got like a little less than a month. Let's see what happens with that. The value of this fund, though, is 661 mil. The NAV is 64.54. Trade price 64.47. 30-day IV 51%. That could be better. That could definitely be better. We need more. We need more. IV estimate is 258. Income estimate. Everyone's screaming upstairs already. Let me see. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Scroll to the right. Income. What happened? Where is Platey? No, too far. Oh, duh. Platey. I mean, I'm looking for group's values. Duh. Oh my God. I'm going brain dead here. Here it is. Yeah, it's just not pulling the right one. So we got to pull the right field, income estimate, pull right here. All right. So they have made 11.14 per share. All right. And if you look here, this filter, I'm sorry, not that filter, this filter up above, this is pulling as of June 16th, which was this past Monday. So as of this past Monday, I'm showing Palantir, Platey, they made $114 million, which is 11.14 per share. I mean, that's insane. Insane in the membrane. Insane. All right. So freaking nuts. 11.14 already. All right. Group B declares when. All right. We got to wait 25 days, though, unfortunately. July 16th. All right. Okay. All right. So that's the update on Platey. That's all the funds that I cover, but we're gonna keep going down the line. Let's see who else is doing well here. All right. Whose YouTube channel is that? Should I pull it up? Let's see. Is this a compliment or an insult? Rod is a good man. I enjoy his video and honesty. Kind of crazy, but we all have a little bit of that. What are you talking about? I'm normal. All right. No, thank you. Thank you. I think. All right. Live off dividends and options now. All right. Is he here? Is he here? I don't think when I click a link in here, I don't know if it doesn't work for me. But live off dividend and option. Is that coaches? I don't know. He keeps changing his YouTube. Live off dividends and options now. Live off dividends and options. Name is definitely too long. It is coach. I guess you guys are talking about the interview, right? Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are interested, live off dividends and options now, previously known as THB Finance, did an interview with Jay yesterday at noontime. It was a long one, hour and a half. So go check it out. Shout out to Coach. I met him last year for the closing bell. I'll see him again this year. But yeah, he's a late owl, so he'll never be up for this video. I'll have to get his ass up one morning to join the conversation. But yeah, go check out his video from yesterday. All right. Does he sing? No, he does not. He's slacking. So you guys got to make him sing, right? You got to tell him, have not watched a coach in a while. Well, there's an interview. There you go. Hour and a half, though. That's a pretty long interview, right? All right. Anyway, Marrow, how you doing? By the close, 3 cents. That's good, right? By the close, penny. Yeah. By the close, 2 cents. Okay, we're getting there, Cletus. All right, 4.75% out of the money. 4.75. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Again, Marrow. What's the price? $20. This sucker launched at 50. Oof. Little rough. All right, so let's keep going. I'm trying to look at the chat now. Then I'm getting towards the end. By the close, what the heck? 534, 845, 343. All right, Carvani, you suck. You suckity doo-dah. They lost their trades because their strike prices got blown through. All right, so they got campity doo-dah on the upside. I'm sorry, guys, but they did. All right, they're selling calls for next week, 1.6, 0.8, and 1.6% out of the money. So hopefully next week will be a little better. All right. Not sure who actually uses Carvana, but I guess people do, right? You order a car online. I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe it's good. It's actually, well, people hate dealing with people. So that's why, anything online is I guess a good thing for a lot of people. All right. Up next, the one, the only. All right. How many people did that annoy that noise? They paid by the close 160, 106. Yeah, man, it's a tight one. They probably lost that trade though, or is a wash. Next week's trades 3.18 and 4.46% out of the money. Hoy has good IV or hood, I should say. So that's good. And then up next is Ulti. Ulti's aight, right? Ulti, it's a different fun. It's a land of its own. I heard they have Circle. They got Circle up in here. Let's see. Look for a C. There you go. Circle. Have you seen the IV on this thing, man? 170% or something. Plus, it's up massively since IPO. Missed out on that one. IONQ, Plater, they got a whole bunch of crap. Ulti is a beast of a beast, man. It's a great fun. Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes All right, Sucksy, LFGY, oh yeah, LFGY, oh yeah, oh my God. Oh, ETF inspector, where are you? You cover all these trades? Holy crap-a-doo. GPTY, yeah, they're not bad. SDTY, QDTY, RDTY, and shippity-doo-da. Oh, Renty. Does anyone actually like Renty? What's the distro on this sucker? Oh, it's got O up in here. They're selling calls on O. Oh, gotta love it. Selling calls on freaking O. Hey, this is cool though, man. They got freaking variety. Renty, man. What is the Renty yield? Does anyone know? Renty? I'm gonna pull it up before I get to my options trades. Is that a target one? Yeah, it is. Oh, so it's 12%. Yeah, distro 13%. All right. That's not enough, man. It's just not enough for me. Sorry. I need more. I need more. I need more. I need more. All right, question. I see a question. Is that for me? How do you calculate IV estimate? Well, that's easy. You take the IV. I use the 30-day IV, which is a formula pulling from Alpha Query. But you take that, you multiply it by the current price of the ETF, and you divide it by 13 because 13 payments in a year. All right? Easy enough, right? You watch Rod for what info? For singing or singing lessons? Or what do we got? Yeah, man, we'd all be rich. We're always late to the game. Bunch of late suckers up in here. All right, so let's go to my options plays, see if how I did. All right, if anyone gives a damn. These are the indexes, the triple leverage indexes, right? So if you ever want to trade options on an index, these are your best friends. But I like TNA, number one, cheap. Number two, highest IV. Number three, because Stone Cold said so. All right, let's keep going. TSLL. Again, what do I trade options on? Misty, sometimes. I basically, the only way I buy Misty is through selling puts. So pretty much I've just been getting assigned. I haven't been able to sell many calls because my cost base is suckity-doo-dah. It's okay. It's okay. We will live. We'll live on. So I got no trades on Misty. All right. It's not worth it to trade Misty at the moment. All right. Let's look at TSLL. All right. Let's see if I can get everything in the page. It's a little hard here. Yeah, you can't see it's so I had TSLL. They closed at what? $12.21. All right. They closed at $12.21. Jeff, are you leaving during my options discussion? Shame on you. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Have a good weekend. All right. Let me continue. I sold the call here. This was $16. So obviously 16 is greater than 12.21. So, expired worthless. Duh, right? People always ask, why doesn't YieldMax let them expire worthless? Well, I let it expire worthless. But again, those 100 shares, they're now free. They're free to sell calls on, but I have to wait till Monday, right? I didn't, do a rolling order and utilize the time value over the weekend for those 100 shares. But it's okay. I don't want every single share working all the time in my account. All right. That's just not how I, use it. And then I had a $10 put. I sold a put. If TSLL closed above 10, then this expires worthless. If it closes below 10, I would get a sign and have to buy 100 shares at 10. But it closed at what? 12.21. So obviously this expired worthless. So obviously I get my collateral back. $10 times 100 shares, $1,000 back in the account. All right. Not really back in the account. It's just no longer under pending, if that makes sense. All right. Now, here's an $11 call. This one it's been in the money. This one's in Craps Creek or Schitt's Creek. I can say shit now, right? I don't know. I did a rolling order on that. So I decided, you know what? Instead of just letting it get called away, selling 100 shares at $11, I'm going to roll it another week. Why not? So what did I get out of that? Well, if I look here, where is it? Yeah, it's right here. So I had to pay $1.65 to close out the old, and I got $1.85 credit to open the new. So in the end, I got 20 cents per share or $20 for rolling it out one more week which actually comes to about an 81% yield. So it's not bad at all. And that's actually the only trade I did yesterday. I wasn't really rushing to do any trades yesterday because I already hit my goal. I hit my goal for the week. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to let it be. You know what I mean? Let it be. Let it be. All right. So let's highlight this. There we go. All right. So what do we got open for next week? Let's take a look, man. Let's take a look. I have two puts, a 10 and an 11. So far, so good. You know, they are 9 and 18% out of the money. I don't see any risk as of yet. And then I'm selling calls. We know the 11 is in danger. That's okay. Again, I'm just going to keep rolling this as long as I can get a credit, a reasonable credit. If I get $5, maybe I won't do it. But if it's like $10 and above, sure, I'll probably keep rolling it. As they say, keep rolling, rolling. All right, and then I have a 14, a 15, and a $16 call. All right, that's for next week. So what do I have on covered calls? I have 400 shares that I'm selling calls on. So if I go down here, you can see how many shares I have. It's noted in big font. I own 800 shares of TSLL. I am selling calls on 400 of them, which means I have 400 that are uncovered. So Monday, if TSLL jumps up and it's green and it's going to the moon, you best believe I'm selling calls. If TSLL is red, then I have, you know, I can close out some of these calls early if I want, or I could just sell puts, or I could do nothing, right? There's always the option of nothing. So that's kind of where we stand with that. Total income for the week, if I go over here, I have made $215 for the week. So TSLL, in trading options on TSLL for this week, I made $215, which is a slight decrease from last week, which is okay. It's okay. Because like I said, I did hit my goal. Up next is TNA Dynamite. All right. So I had two puts, both in danger. Danger. Why? Because the strike was above the current price. TNA actually came down, right? Came down towards the end of the week. But hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. It closed at 30.82. So I had a chance. Do I let both of these get assigned? Do I buy the shares, lower my cost basis? Or do I roll them? So I decided to roll the 32 because since the stock price is at 30.82, 32 is not necessarily a deal. So I did a rolling order on that. And you can see that it's down here. So how much did I have to pay? Oh, I didn't put the delta. It's all right. I didn't freaking plug in the numbers. Damn it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I got a 66-cent credit overall with the, you know, the closeout and the new, which is 107% yield. So again, $66 for rolling the 32. I decided against rolling the 31. Why? Well, because I'm basically buying it at the current price, right? I'm buying 100 shares at 31, and it got assigned. So if I go down here, that actually helped. It really helped my cost basis. So if I go down here, I added here, right? 620, 100 shares, $31. So if I go down here now, my cost basis was higher, 36 something. It's now at 35.70. All right. So again, you could see where I started, right? This journey started, this wheel started at 42, a little high, very high, actually. So it's been a long road. It's since, you know, the election and everything, the market, it kind of got destroyed, right? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got questions. Hold on, let me answer them. Do you ever roll calls out and up or roll puts out and down? That's actually a really good question. Or do you always just roll? I find that it's never worth it to roll it out. Like, for example, if I wanted to roll this 32, you know, and lower the strike price at the same time, that may not have given me a credit at all. I mean, it may have given me like 20 cents per share, but to me, it's just not worth it, right? It's just not worth it. So I decided it's not a bad idea though to check. I didn't even check, to be honest, this time around. Every time though I have checked, you know, again, the reason I would want to roll down on that put is to have less risk of being assigned. But to be honest, on the puts, I expect TNA to go up. Let's be real. So I'm not worried about a 32. So I'll roll this forever, unless I want to get a sign. So it doesn't matter. But yes, I mean, I do check for it, but I don't do it because I don't find that it's worth it. I'd rather just squeeze whatever crap juice is left out of the strikes that I currently have. You are welcome, Aqua Grill. What is the strategy to leave some uncovered? Is it for flexibility to sell for gains if the price shoots up? You damn right it is. You damn right. Well, again, we'll let's look. Well, let's go through the trades and I'll finish this question. So what else expired? I had a 34 call and a 32 call. Both expired yesterday. Again, TNA closed at 30.82. So these expired worthless. So those 200 shares freed up. And then for next week, here, I'll highlight these gray since we discussed it. It's way too loud in the house already. Have kids, they said. What a great idea, right? What a great idea. All right. Anyway, we got 2 calls for next week, a 35 and a 36, 13 and 16% out of the money. And then we got 2 puts, a 26, 15% out of the money, but this other 32 we talked about, it's in the money. All right. So to answer that question, let's see how many shares we got. Again, we did get assigned another 100 shares. So we now own 600 shares of TNA. I am selling calls on 200. Why only 200? I believe that's the question. Well, number one, if TNA was up yesterday, yeah, I definitely would have sold, calls on these another 100 or another 200. But I do tend to like leaving some uncovered if possible. I'm not saying I always do, because last week I was trading, I had calls on all of them. But if I'm going to sell calls on every single share, yes, I would like to have a nice cushion to capture the full upside, right? Because I don't want to be cappity-doo-dah, right? We always complain about being cappity-doo-dah, and I don't want to cappity-doo-dah myself. You can look at these calls. Look, I'm ready for 13 or 16% upside, right? So if TNA goes up on the Monday, I'm selling calls. Am I selling at what strike price though? I mean, that depends. That depends. A lot of things, again, the way I'm trading right now is different than I used to because I'm kind of like in the pooper, Look at my cost basis, 35.70. Look at the price of TNA, 30, right? And you typically want to sell calls above your cost basis if you can. So since I can't, well, I can, but for the longest time I couldn't, right? But you get what I'm saying. I'm just in no rush. So for example, if TNA was at $35, I would probably sell calls with a much, much lower strike price, closer to what the price is, because it would be a profit and it's worth the risk. And now, granted, I do occasionally do the degenerate play. But yes, to answer your question, it is nice to have some uncappity-doo-dah, but typically I'm selling my calls, at least at this moment, pretty far out of the money that I'm not too worried about losing out on the gains. I'm in the Platey posse. Congrats, Alan. Platey posse is taking over the world lately. Best to sell calls on green days for higher premium. Steel says, yes, Steel, you're right. Steel knows. Steel's in the options trading discussion every day. What is this? They don't own the stock, so they can't sell it, but they could write at a higher price. Not sure what Wolf is talking about. Here's Mark Landry. Don't recognize that name, but welcome. Let me take a sip of coffee. The advantage of leaving some uncovered is that your synthetic buy call is able to go up in value if the price stock. Well, yeah, but I don't have a synthetic. I have physical shares. I actually own the shares. I'm not messing with synthetics in my account. No, thank you. I'll just do the plain old wheel way. So anyway, I did make $221. All right, $221 on TNA for the week. And real quick, let me just show you what my goals are. All right. And again, I have this on the Misty tab for whatever reason, so bear with me. So again, for the month of June, what do I need to make? Well, for one, I go to my retire now, and June says I need to make $2,138. Why? Why that number? Simple. It's 50% off of the prior month's capital, approximately. So 50% yield. In order to have 50% yield, I need to make $2,138.43. All right. Okay. So how much did Misty pay me this month? Again, I own 500 shares of Misty. It paid me $735. That's decent money, right? So if I take that goal, subtract out what Misty paid me, my options goal is 1403. All right. So in order for me to meet that goal, if I divide that number by 4, my weekly goal is 351. All right. So did I make 351 for this week? If I go to the weekly income, the answer is yes. I made $436. In fact, for the month of June, I made 466, 475, and 436. So I am whooping my goals ass. And the excess for this week is, let me copy the right thing. There we go. $85.23. So yeah, no, that's right. Okay. So yeah, so far for the month, again, for the 4 weeks, why does it show men? Come on. 324 above goal. And then next week, again, I don't really, how much? Yeah, 324. So in fact, I don't even have to, if I make like $25 next week or $27, I'm good technically, but I'll still shoot for the 351 because that is my goal. And then I'll plug that in for the end of the month, and that'll be that's it for the freaking month. So again, I'm keeping it simple. All right. This account has a job. Its job is to yield 50% and pay the mortgage. So as long as I'm yielding 50%, that'll more than pay the mortgage. You can see here, like this is the reinvestment percentage. Like last month, I reinvested 58% of what I made went back into the account, because the only thing that comes out of the account is the mortgage. The mortgage is $1,300. So, because I don't want my job, my active income to pay the bills anymore. All right. I want my brokerage to pay all of my bills. That way, if I decide I'm going to retire, then I don't need the active income, right? Granted, I do right now. But again, I'm working my way to get to that point where you don't need the 9 to 5. You can make do on dividends. You can make do on options income, things like that. So it's a work in progress. You'll see when I talk about the other account, the dividend car account as well. So, all right, let me go through some questions and we'll probably call it a day because we're, oh my God, hour 18. Good God, I got to get moving. We got freaking baseball today. We got to leave soon. Have you given out estimates for Group C? No, I have not. That'll be tomorrow's video, bright and early, so stay tuned for that. So, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow and we will try to entertain you the best we can. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. All right. Outside of that, I got nothing except the keyword. So if you're live and you want to type in what you think the keyword should be, feel free to do that now. But what is the keyword? If you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type down below the keyword. The keyword today is anyone? Anyone? No, nothing. 189 of you. Not one person has a keyword. Let's go. Come on. I gotta get my ass moving. I gotta sign off here. Killing it. I don't know. That's not really a keyword there, but options rule. Fine. There we go. All right. If you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you have to type down in the keywords options rule. Options freaking rule. How about that? All right. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Have a great weekend. Later.